But today, this morning, we're here to help our singers, TVS vocal athletes. And what we're going to do is we're going to do just a Q&A like we used to, okay? I've got questions here that are written down to answer for you guys. And if you have questions, feel free to put them down in the comment box as well. And those of you who aren't aware of who I am and what we're doing here, this is our TVS Vocal Athlete community at Facebook, okay? And a lot of you people have the light course out at Udemy. If you go to udemy.com, take a look at Become a Great Singer. That's our program. We also have a warm-up course out there and a course of has live content from live master classes that we did last year in Europe. Out at my website at thevocaliststudio.com, we have the full course offering, which is a 616-page book and an online course that has been helping singers in 175 different countries around the world on a regular basis for about 20 years. Voice coach helping you guys. Here we go. You guys ready? Can you hear me okay? If you can hear me, let's do the live Facebook broadcast pokey, okay? So give me a likey poke. What is it, a kissy poke? I don't know. So a likey poke, a wowie poke, and I think it's a kissy poke, all right? On the count of 3. Ready? 1. Nope, not yet, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Poke, 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 poke. All right, great. All right, we got the pokes coming up. There they are. All right, guys. All right, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Questions and answers from TVS vocal athletes. Here we are. The first question came in, I believe, this morning or recently. I just went to the group and I saw this and I thought I'd go ahead and answer it. All right. Does anybody have good tips to improve pitch? Okay. So I'll paraphrase this. Jair van de Grind, whom I think is from the Netherlands, has a question. I'm flat. That's it. I'm doing onsets. I'm warming up. And when I do the onsets, I'm flat. I'm under the pitch. What do I do? Let's answer his question. How do I keep from getting flat? Number 1, do onsets and be aware of the problem. I think that's what I'm saying. First of all, be aware of the problem, because a lot of people aren't aware of the fact that they're flat. 2, how do we fix the problem once we're aware of it? Okay? Being flat on a note is can happen from a lot of different ways. You could be underblowing your respiration. So 1, I would recommend that you just consciously just blow a little bit more. Okay? Just get a little more respiration underneath your note. All right? 3, keep using your tuner software. I think that's a great idea. Just stay at it. 4, be doggedly committed to it. Don't give up. That's not a cop-out answer. That's actually just don't give up. Do what you're doing. Keep going. It's not working today, but the day after tomorrow it will. Just keep pounding on those onsets. But 5, what I wanted to say the most, saving the best for last, probably the best thing that you can do, all right? Jair van de Grind from, I think, the Netherlands, is this. The embouchure. The embouchure. Shape a super embouchure, monsieur. And this is our embouchure. Tongue, teeth, lips, jaw. How you shape the oral space when you're releasing that amplified vowel is it's part of how we shape the vowels and shape the resonance. And I'll just simply tell you this. You want a tip? The tip would be lift, lift. Okay? Right here. Show your canines. If you simply lift your upper lip and show your canines when you release your vowel on your onsets and when you're singing on everything, okay, from the simplest onset to singing live in front of a big audience, you need a lot of white, you need a lot of enamel, okay? If you lift the upper lip, what that does all the time is it suddenly takes a flat note and makes it go, and it lifts it up. Okay? So you need to lift the upper lip, show the canines when you're releasing all of your amplified, beautiful vowels, and watch what happens. Watch what happens. I guarantee you, if you do it right now, if you go, or you try it after this presentation, you'll notice that you're now singing those notes on pitch, or they're getting a lot better, okay? So that's a real simple solution, and make sure you do that, okay? The thing about the embouchure that is challenging, I've always said, is not actually getting a good embouchure, okay? This is sort of a simple thing to do. The challenge with the embouchure is remembering to do it. Remembering to lift, especially for beginners. So what you need to do is you need to practice your onsets as a beginner in front of a mirror. All right, homework assignment is 1, keep using the tuning software. That's a great idea. 2, keep doing the onsets and drilling and being a good soldier. Keep marching, that's great. Keep paying your dues, it'll come soon. 3, make sure you got good respiration. 4, make sure that you have a good embouchure. Lift the upper lip and show the canines, all right? And 5, embouchure. I forgot what number 5 was, okay? Just get that good embouchure. I'm gonna put the link for the embouchure lesson from the course, and I'm gonna post it in here for you guys to go look at. The embouchure is referred to in the course in like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 different lessons. It's a really important thing. It is under, yes, it's under the module Techniques and Myth Busting. And on the full course, the lesson is called The 2 Embouchures. We actually talk about a couple different positions. The other day, I noticed that as I hold a note, the veins on either side of my neck seem to progressively pop out. Is there a way to tell if the veins popping out on my neck is due to unnecessary tension, or is it just normal? Hey, that's a really good question. Sean, paraphrase, Sean says, hey, when I'm training and singing in the TVS program, sometimes I notice that I get vascularity popping out in my neck. Is that a problem? Is that something to be concerned about? And my answer is, it could be, it's possible, okay? But less probable. Having a little bit of vascularity here in the extrinsic area when you're singing usually means, and I'm going to assume that you've got, I haven't heard you, I would need to hear you in a lesson or in a consultation call, all right, to really confirm this. I got to be able to hear it. But having a little bit of vascularity popping out is actually a symptom of good extrinsic anchoring, meaning external anchoring, meaning the bigger, broader muscles up and around the neck and things being utilized in the proper way to help support your singing, all right? Namely, when you're through the passaggio in the head voice and doing sort of the difficult stuff and doing the high belt techniques that we specialize in here at TVS. So Sean, there could be an exception. There's a chance it could be a symptom of pushing and constriction and having problems on high notes. I could only be able to verify that by hearing you, okay? So I encourage you to sign up for the clarity consultation call or take a lesson with me on Skype, and I'll be able to help you with that. Having said that, not being able to see you, there's a good chance that usually when that happens, it's not a problem. It's just something that happens when you got good extrinsic anchoring and you got a lot of good musculature behind your singing. Typically extreme singing and belting, you'll see that, okay? And also it's a very personal thing. One person who has the same amount of energy and the same amount of extrinsic anchoring into the note might not get that vascularity. They might not pop out like that. Okay, and where the other guy who does pretty much the exact same thing does is sort of a personal anatomy thing. I'm going to leave you with this. Don't worry about it, okay? And if you really want to know for sure, get in front of me or another TVS teacher, and we'll tell you whether the thing that you're doing is if you're using proper techniques, and if you're not, well then that's why it's happening. And if you are, and then it's still there, it's just anchoring. Sorry, I got to keep my eyes on the page here. Okay, when I do the vocal routines and get to a note I can't reach, what should I do? Should I go into falsetto, stop there, and work my way back down, or not? Thanks a lot, and for your help with this, Professor Robert, and your team for creating such a great comprehensive vocal course. You are welcome, Dan. Paraphrase Dan's question. I'm training, I'm singing, I'm coming along, and I'm a beginner, so I don't have all the talk track right. I don't know what these things are called yet, but I'm getting there because I'm watching the lectures and I'm a good student. All right, but I'm singing, I'm training, I'm coming around, and I'm getting to probably the passaggio, right, the vocal break. As a man, that'd be somewhere around E4, F4, F sharp 4, right about there, where things start constricting, okay? Because we need sort of a CT, TA handoff and good vowels and lots of cry mode elongation and things going on. I'm a beginner, don't have all that stuff coordinated quite yet, so I'm starting to break or push. Do I, and it's a really good question for training, do I just break over to the falsetto and just kind of blow hot wind and do the falsetto thing up there? Or do I just stop at the passaggio at E or F and retreat and go back down and only work my chest voice? This studio, this book, this course, me, us, all of us, and you, we are not chest voice training people, okay? Of course, we're training the chest voice. It's important, but it's not only chest voice training. Look, really, in some sense, the big inspiration, the driving catalyst for producing this book and the online course and dedicating my life to this is to figure out personally and then help others and then create a program, a book to help people learn how to understand and then learn how to train to build one voice and get a smooth bridge from the chest voice to the head voice through the vocal break. Dan, that's, if you weren't aware of it, that's the secret sauce. That's sort of the main cool part of investing in my training courses, investing in TVS. You get all of this down here, that's all great, but what we're really good at is the hard stuff, and that means bridging through the vocal break where your voice begins to choke and get pushy. For a man, that's usually somewhere around E4, E above middle C, and instead of choking and pushing, turning that into a smooth movement and creating the illusion of one connected voice, chest voice, head voice, one voice. So if that's the prime directive, if that's sort of the mission statement for TVS and a training course, then the answer can only be, you go through. Dan, you go from the chest voice through the vocal break, and even if it's not elegant, even if it's not smooth, and it's clunky and you break or you even choke a little bit, or it's perfect, it doesn't matter. No matter what happens, good, bad, or ugly, through the vocal break, you go through and you get to the head voice. And in the head voice, realize that I'm oversimplifying, but you've got two sound colors that you can work with. One is sort of the primitive default falsetto-y thing. When you're training from the chest voice through the vocal break, you keep going. You keep going. You've got to stumble and trip and figure it out. You've got to negotiate that. This is the main purpose of the training program. Get to the head voice, all right? And even if it sounds awful, just get there. That's step one. That's sort of an achievement for a beginner. For some people, they've never even been to the head voice before. All right. So if you spent 2 to 4 weeks just going and just singing in the head voice and falsetto, that's okay as a raw beginner, because at least you're making the movement. At least you're building sort of the visual and some important motor skills for bridging the vocal break, for bridging and connecting, okay? However, that's not the end game. So we don't want you to continue to be on falsetto. In the beginning, that might be okay, but at some point, you're gonna have to build full musculature and compression on the vocal folds, the motor skills and the strength to make that head voice full, okay? Full voice up there. And the techniques and the science and the explanation on how to train that to not go but go yeah. The techniques and all that is in the course and in the book. All right. Now at this point in the story, now that you know that you're not going to retreat, you're going to bridge and connect and deal with what you got and learn how, and then work on building that musculature up there. Probably the next logical question would be, okay, what do I do? What are the workouts that are going to help you to build belty full voice above E4? All right, that should be your next question. Okay. Well, there's a lot of different integrated training routines in the program. There's a lot of techniques that will help you get there. There isn't just one solution. All right. A lot of the different onsets will help you get there, and it sort of depends on the individual. All right. But I recommend that you hunker down and you focus on the quack and release onset in the head voice. You work on the dampen and release onset in the head voice. You work on the attack and release onset or glottal attacks in the head voice. And 4, in regards to the physical configuration of the larynx, you make sure that you got cry mode engaged. Okay? All of it. Every last second of anything that you're doing, you have to have a thinned out, elongated vocal fold position because it gives you agility. It also gives you medial compression and it removes all pharyngeal constriction. Okay? So you need to go out to the course, and if you haven't done it already, go to physical modes and watch the videos on cry mode, because you have to learn how to first configure the larynx into an exotic high performance position that we call cry mode that is the position for singing. It's not just a cool technique we add to. It is the position for singing. All right? 9 out of 10 times anything you want to do, especially through the vocal break and in the head voice. Okay? So you're going to practice getting into cry mode. Then, while in a thinned out cry mode, physical vocal mode position, while in that position, you're going to work on quack and release onsets, dampen and release onsets, attack and release onsets, and when you put them all together with sirens, you end up getting a strength building routine. I'm going to drop that in here for you. Any one of the 5 integrated training routines in the program will help you to build that. I'll just give you one right now to save time, and I'm recommending strength building routine number 3. It's integrated training routine, strength building number 3. I'll grab the link right now. Oversimplifying, but in a sense, this is a great belting routine. Now, if you just dive into this routine without first practicing vocal cry mode, and without first practicing your dampen and release onsets and your attack and release onsets, if you don't first practice getting into the mode, into the laryngeal configuration for singing, and you don't practice and work on those onsets first, then the routine's going to be clunky. It's not going to work well for you, and you're probably not even going to understand why you're doing it. All right? It's critically important that you first warm up through the warm-up program. Okay? 2, you get really good at cry mode. 3, you study dampen and release onset, attack and release onset, probably quack and release onset would be good for you too, so you can start getting the motor skills for compression. Then and only then are you ready to go to ITR strength building number 3. All right, good. Robert, I'm going through your online course, all right, out at Udemy. That's the light version. I'm very impressed with your teaching style and the content. You've given me confidence that even I could be a good singer. Great. I'm happy that you're happy with it. I'm just starting out and I'm working on the techniques. I'm working on the track and release onset that goes through about 2 octaves worth of notes. So he's doing releasing amplified vowels off of a buzzy nasal, 1 note at a time on the keyboard, the track and release onset workouts. So far, so good. He says, I can hit lower notes pretty well. Let's not hit notes, let's sing them. All right, but I understand what you mean. I believe that is C3 note, blah, blah, blah. But then I get to about E4. What did I tell you earlier, you guys, about with, what was it, with Dan's question? What did I tell you? For men, somewhere around E4, that's where you come to Jesus. All right, that's where the work really starts. That's where I earn my pay. Okay, right here, around E4. Okay, here's another guy saying, hey, everything seems to be going great. It's kind of easy until I get to E4. No surprises. That's a vocal break, isn't it? Okay, good. I get to about E4 or so and can barely even make a note. Then, as I get higher, I can start hitting the notes better. Don't hit, just sing, but we get it. As it gets a little higher above E4, in the head voice, it starts sort of coming around. All right? I'm pretty sure this is common. Yes, it is. It is very common. The low notes, the notes that are closest, in the head voice notes that are closest to the passaggio are the most difficult. You might think the super high notes are the most difficult just because they're high. They're not. They're not. They actually are a little easier up there. The physiology and the anatomy of the voice allows us to cry better, compress better, get more TA engagement better on higher head voice positions. But down here, close to the vocal break, in sort of this critical zone right here, you just bridge at E4, low head voice notes. Those are the most difficult ones. Very common. Everybody experiences that. As you get higher, it gets a little bit easier. I'm pretty sure this is common and that you will deal with it more detail later. Yes, we do. Should I stay on this one lesson until I can do a decent job hitting, he means singing, all the notes? Or should I just do it for a week or so and then move on because other workouts I'm getting different results? This is another way of asking a question that we've answered numerous times in here. And it's sort of, I'm doing the workouts, I'm doing track and release onsets and other workouts. When I get to the passaggio, it starts getting hard. And when I get over the passaggio, just on the low notes, it seems to be the most difficult right there. But as I go higher in the head voice, I tend to get more compression. I'm getting more TA engagement. It's easier to cry. It sounds more full, slightly above. Starting around, oh, say G sharp A, it starts getting a little bit easier up there. What do? Quick question is, you just keep going. You keep going. You work on this. Actually, his question was, do I just stay on this forever until I get it, or do I move on? Move on. Move on. Make sure that every day, if you can, if you're a good student, come back to that workout that puts you right in the pickle. Do the thing that you've done, that you're doing here, that puts you right at that E and right at that F. And sort of, in some sense, sort of rub your nose in it. That's what I've done. Whenever I've experienced a physical or a motor skill challenge in my singing and in my training, I never retreat from it. Okay? The lifestyle of a trained singer, somebody that's serious about this, is we don't, oh, that's hard, I'm going to get away from it. That doesn't solve the problem. What you do is you embrace it. In fact, you sort of have fun with that. Like, I'm going to sit, or I'm going to rub my nose right on that E. And I'm going to go yeah, that hard part right there until I start getting some results. I start building some motor skills, okay? So I want you to work on that workout and work on those hard parts right there at that E and that F. Do a little bit every single day. However, don't just sit on that forever and not move on. You need to go to other workouts because other workouts or other onsets may build the E and the F sharp that you're working on because they're sort of getting after those hard parts from a different angle, in a different context, in a different movement, in a different motor skill movement. All right? track and release, it's a little difficult. You're going to keep doing it until you can do it with track and release. Play with it. It'll come. I promise you, I guarantee you, it will come. However, spend, 5 or 10 minutes on it, on that workout and that movement that you're sort of negotiating and wrestling with, then stop and move on to something else. Do dampen and release onto the E. Do attack and release onto the E. Change the vowel. Instead of doing A, do ah. Go spin the wheel of fortune and just try a blues workout. Okay, maybe the intervals inside another workout will help you to get that position going. We never really know exactly why. Well, sometimes we do, but sometimes we don't know exactly why we're sort of clunky on a particular position in our voice when we're training and singing. All right. So what you do is you work on it over and over and over again, that movement that is clunky until it starts coming around. But don't fixate on that. Go out and try a different workout, different onset, different vowel, something else. Try being more aware of your cry mode. Thin out more. Be aware of your embouchure. Lift more on the embouchure. And what will happen is that same note will come around. It'll connect. It'll work for you with a different workout, with a different context. All right? And that sort of answers the popular question around here in our school, which is, how do I know when to move on? How do I know when I've done a particular workout enough and I need to go on to the next workout? There's a lot of answers to that question, and there's a video that I recently published that's in the full course that answers that question with nice graphics and things like that. But this would be one of the reasons. This would be one of the answers to that question. How do I know? Do I just keep going, or do I go on to another workout? Well, do it for 5 to 10 minutes. Make sure you can, at some point in the future, plan on being able to master that motor skill on that particular workout in that particular context. And then jump out into something else and hit the same note. Did I say that? I meant sing. Sing the same note with a different onset, different vowel, whatever, and it'll start coming around. Eventually, in the end, the hard stuff, the hard movement, and the easier movement, they'll sort of converge, and at some point, you're able to do it all. And the E and the F and the F sharp will no longer be a problem for you. Hey, if you liked the video, subscribe and click the little notification bell thing. And go out to our Facebook group. Go to the Vocalist Studio Facebook group. It's awesome, exploding with activity and community. Thanks for watching.